What up, people? It's your boy Master Chudy out here with another comic review. So we're going into Mr. Miracle today. It's been Mr. Miracle has definitely been a type of mind warp. Definitely gets one shook. You know, last issue had me really shook because certain things were revealed. Um, so it's been great. This has been great. But here the cover is very simple. It's just a portrait of Orion with his helmet right there. So it's pretty simple. And they got it right. A comic that is heartbreaking, complex, and subtle. Definitely. So we move forward. Let's get into it. So immediately it seems that we're back on Apocalypse after everything. Um, and they dig up, then we see Granny Goodness that they buried her right here. But we see that in the midst of everything, we see Barda, Mr. Miracle, Orion, and Light Ray, which I picked up at last. And then he has this parademon by the rope, actually. But apart from just digging up Granny Goodness from the ground where I believe they buried her, we see that Scott is like, remember, he's talking to Big Bart. He's like, remember that story Granny always told us as night when you couldn't sleep, the Christmas story? And then Bart is like, no, she never told me any story. And we see that he wants to tell it to her, but she doesn't want to hear it. And she's like, it'll drive you crazy, you need sleep. And Scott is like saying, okay, you're right, sorry. But he tells the story anyway, which is just a which apparently is a biblical story, which is interesting. But the story continues. He just tells the whole story about I guess the um just basically just telling her a story. But the imagery here is just terrible. So the parademon digs up Granny Goodness, and we can see like these warped images, like a TV screen just out of blur back in the day. So there she is dead, and Orion's just examining, make sure it is him, make sure it is Granny Goodness. He removes a knife and just beheads Granny Goodness. Like, God, oh my gosh, this is just gory. Bam. And then holds her head as like a prize. And then he ends the story just saying Merry Christmas. But Bart has been asleep the whole time, so they're already back on Earth, in bed. So we see like it's Dr. Bedlam calling, and he's going to spring a trap that is as simple as foolproof and sinister as his own existence. Read what lies in store for Scott Free, Mr. Miracle, super escape artist. Open the door of terror and drop the paranoid pill. So, we got Tom King as the writer, and Mitch Garrett's pencils, inks, colors, and variant cover. And Nick Darrington did this cover. Clayton Cowles is the letterer. Maggie Hull is the assistant editor. Molly Mahan is the associate editor. And Jamie S. Rich is the editor. And Mr. Miracle created by Jack Kirby. So, Scott goes into the medicine cabinet, goes in, takes a pill, believes he needs it. He just sits down, and then we see we have Forager here. It's like Orion doesn't know I'm here, thank God. Then Scott tells him that he's on leave from the war, and Forager asks how he's doing, but he says, you know how it is, Forager. Whatever happens, you still got to make a living. I got a show in the morning. So he's got another escape artist. He asks if he's breaking out of something. He says, yeah. But he then asks him, can I help you somehow? You want a drink or something? And then we just see 6.5 million of my people, the bugs, have already died in this war, fighting for your people. Orion ordered their deaths, purposely ordered them to die before the gods. And, Scott's like, I need more milk. I don't know why. And he's like, now that Granny's been defeated, Orion wants to lead us to Apocalypse, go on the offensive, take out Darkseid, right? And of course the bugs will be front again, cannon fodder for the gods. And that'll be triple the number we've already sacrificed. And what do we get? At some point, it's your victory. Our blood. I'm not saying we don't go after Darkseid. Darkseid is. Oh, Darkseid is. But there's a limit to what this population can take right now in Orion. He doesn't seem to understand limits. And, Scott asks if you talk to him. It's like, we sent our queen. May she ever breed. It's like, and he had her. She was executed. He executed her for treason. Her head hangs with Granny. And Scott's like, no, I would have heard. Someone would have told me. And Forge is like, I'm telling you. It's like, then Scott's asking, what does he want? And it's like, as a general, you were admired by the bugs in your command. They speak of your respect for all the servants of New Genesis. And the generals you had the least bug casualties in your army. And then Scott's like, look, Forger, it's like, General Free, Mr. Miracle, the bugs will no longer follow Orion into this war. We will follow you, wherever you will take us. And then Scott's like, you think I matter? If you follow me, you're following Orion. It's like, if we're following you, Orion's dead. Then we see a boom tube. This should be good, Imperious Lex. And we just see Forager. We see Light Ray come in. It's like, no. It's like, by orders of High Father. So it looks like he's about to be executed, and then Light Ray just kills him. Bam. And then Scott is like, Jesus. He's shocked. And then as Light Ray is about to return back to New Genesis, Orion asked what he said, Orion fighting that way. He said, true. And Light Ray's like, the bug was significantly instructed not to speak with you. He violated that instruction. He accepted the consequences. And Scott is like, yeah, I get it, but was it true? And Light Ray's like, don't be stupid, Scott. We just see him go. He drinks his milk and says, Merry Christmas. And Bart is still asleep. It's like, you miss Forager and Light Ray. And he just says, I love you. Dark side is. And then he starts saying, dark side is. Everyone says that, but what does it mean? I bet it doesn't mean anything. People just think it sounds cool. I guess they do. Then we get to the next panel of Scott's amazing, it's a nice panel that it just progresses. Like, he's going up a ladder, boom, 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 boom. It's for his show. And then we see, it's the moment we've all been dreading. What you see now is not a superhero about to take flight. This is not an alien with magic science fiction wand. No, ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to see is more miraculous than that. It is but a man. It's like, this is but a man. So now everyone watching, both here and at home, I need you to count with me. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Then we just get a nice drop. You can picture it getting dropped. Like, the progression is nice. Boom, crash, boom. Scott's supposed to be in there. But he got out. So apparently we see him and Barter having lunch. Barter informs him that Orion wants them back on the front early. It's like, he called when you're performing. It's like, it's not performing. I'm escaping. It's escaping. I'm actually escaping. It's not a trick. And she's like, yeah, Scott, I know what you do. It's like, come on, you know me. It's like he's invading. And she's like, yeah, Darkseid. He said Darkseid. Orion said that Darkseid needed to be stopped because he's weak. And this is a good time as any. We'll each have our own army again. It was all very Orion. So Scott is like, I have to talk to him. And Bart is like, Scott, honey, he's like, after High Father and what Granny said, and you've seen him now, and Metron, and now Forager. And she's like, Scott, please. And we can still see that his hands are bandaged after the last time he tried to slit his wrists in the first issue. And he's realizing that something's wrong with him. And Barton knows that, but they're going to get through it together. She's promising that. And he's like, this isn't about what I did. I was trying to escape. And she's like, I know. I was trying. I don't know. I mean, obviously it could be that. I'm not stupid. It's really, sometimes I don't know what's real. And he's realizing that something's really wrong. And she's like, well, that's easy, darling. I'm real. So, she reassures him, and, Scott just eats. And then, and he's like, he has to know, but he'll be mad. But then we just see a fan. It's a very nice thing. And I'm a big fan of Scott Free, Mr. Miracle. And she just wants to, to have a selfie with her favorite people. So, DC does it right. Some people just see a nice celebrity. Can I have a selfie with you? And it's like, of course. And Scott looks like a classic celebrity, man. Look at him. Shaved beard with the glasses and everything like that. And we see Tessa Janae 37, Winshaw Boulevard, Los Angeles. So that was a nice, fun panel right there. Nice, fun page. Then, of course, we see that Scott Free has returned to New Genesis, and saying we see this I don't know, this announcer presenting him, and now the funky Flashman proudly presents the expert executioner, the granny goodness gutter, everyone's favorite escape artist, sensational Scott Free, Mr. Miracle. And Scott's just like, man, really, bro? Really, bro? It's like, that's your cue, kid. Get out there. Wow. It's like, clear the room. I want to talk to General Free alone. So then we see that Mr. Miracle comes in. Bart is busy prepping the army. And Orion, so shouldn't you be prepping your army? And it's like, Orion, Father said Darkseid, has the anti-life equation. Okay. And I think it may be inside me. Maybe it made me cut myself. Huh, interesting. It's like what I need to know now. What I need to know what to know. I'm not trying to say anything, okay? I'm not. But do you know? Have you, Orion, I guess, do you, is it inside of you too? So he's wondering if he has the anti-life equation inside of him as well. And then Orion is like, have you seen the face of God? Have you ever seen the face of God? And then, bam, he just starts beating on him, starts wailing on him, asking him a question. Like, he's just going ham on Mr. Miracle. And he's like, asked him again louder, have you ever seen the face of God? And then he's like, I don't. And he just, stomps him. And he's like, I have, Scott. I've witnessed the divine. It helped me, brother. And it'll help you. It's like, look at me, brother. And then Missy Scott is like, you're not my brother. It's like, see me. This is the face of God. And it just keeps repeating itself over and over and over. And it gets more garbled and garbled and garbled and garbled. It's like, there's something wrong. And then we just see, it's like, has Dr. Bedlam, with the aid of the paranoid pill, devised a perfect trap for Mr. Miracle? It would seem so. But one can never tell when dealing with a super escape artist. Watch for the next sensational issue of Mr. Miracle as he prepares for the closing jaws of death. This is getting very trippy. Very, very trippy. It was an interesting issue that touched on a lot of things. The reason why maybe like Scott Free is having these weird things happening to him is that he indeed has a part of the anti-life equation in him, and so does Orion, but Orion seems to have embraced it. But it makes for an interesting story. So thank y'all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notifications. Once again, I do these reviews for you, the people, because I want to discuss good comics with you, get my views out there, and hear what y'all have to say. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you later.